What's my homies, DJ80 here, and today I'm going to do a quick video just to show you how to use the new sample function on Engine 3.0. It came out last Friday, I think, and normally with the updates I leave them for about 2 months because I let someone else trial and error them, and I just dread the thought of having a bad, something go wrong at an event. But I believe they've got a new team doing the software now, and the problems are much less common. So I've just gone through the process of updating. So what I did was I updated my Engine software on my computer, and then I connected my Prime 4 to Wi-Fi and did the update for that. It only took about 30 seconds, if that, for it to load and do the update. But what I haven't done is updated my music yet. So I'll just go through what's happened so far, and I'll show you how to use the sampler function. All right, so I wasn't going to do a video. So what I did was I took a couple of pictures, but now I've had a play with it, I thought actually I'll just show you with a video. So I've got my hard drive here and I've got my backup USB stick in there, and I plugged them in and then I switched the unit on. And then what it does is, because I'd already done the firmware update for this, it recognized in some way that my music database needed to be updated. So it took about 30 seconds and it gave me a prompt. When I switched it on, there's a prompt that comes on and just says, we're just updating your database. And that prompt looks like this picture that I've just taken. So as I said, it only took about 30 or 40 seconds, and it updated the hard drive and also my USB stick as well, because I got a little percentage sign next to it. And then once you do that, the next most obvious thing that you'll notice is that all your music loads much quicker. I've only got probably less than 300 gigabytes of music on there, so I'm only using about a third of that. But it can take, when I first start it up at gigs, I tend to start it up and then go and do something else and then come back to it whilst it's loading the music. But it's pretty much instant. And the first thing you'll notice when you come to use it is under the source, as well as your hard drives, you've now also got sampler content. We'll come back to that. So in my playlists, if I just pick a song and you go to load it, let's say I've loaded it on 4. All right, what you'll notice now, I use 4 waveforms because I tend to use 4 decks, is that you have these buttons here. And when you first start it up, they will actually just say Q, your cue points, okay? So it's just like a visual reminder of the cue points that you have set on your colored pad. So if we want to use our sampler, all we have to do is press shift and roll. So if I press shift and roll, you'll see all my pads have lit up now. And I see I've got a reflection there. Let's try it this way. On my screen, I have samples in there now, and they work really well. Obviously, one of the favorites is the air horn. So that's my red pad here. And you see it lights up. Now you see on this deck, I haven't pressed shift and roll, so it's still just showing my cue points. So if I want it on there, I just have to do the same thing again, press shift and roll. And now I've got samples on there as well. And if I want to just go back to using my cue points, I just press hot cue and I've got my cue points again. So that's just the automatic samples that I've loaded there for you. If I want to change that, the new update has lots and lots of samples, free samples that you can use. So I'm going to press my view button, and then I'm going to go up to my source and then sampler content. And you'll just see here we've got drums, FX, dub and space. So on dub, here's my list. I apologise for that reflection, that's the light on my phone, and it doesn't matter how I shine it, we're getting that. But let's just go for space, for instance. So I haven't listened to them all yet. So if you want to choose a sampler, we know we've got eight buttons that we can use for different samples. So I'm actually going to go through all of these samples at some point and pick my favorite 8. But let's just say, for instance, I want to pick the top one here, hit fly. To load that into the sampler bank, simply swipe right, and you'll see on here, load to deck or sampler slot. So I can either actually load that sample to the deck, or here's my 8 sample slots here, and I'll just pick one. So I'll pick the end one, like that. And then when I go into view, my 8th sample is now there. Hit fly. I don't even know what that is. Let's have a listen. So that's number 8. All right. And I could do it with the other ones as well. So if I go for full E, also I've loaded that into the deck, or full. So I go into this sample page here, load it there. Do I want to load it to the deck, or do I want to load it to my sample pad? I want to load it to my sample pad. And then when I go back in, there it is, full E. How cool is that? And then let me just go back to my playlists. So I just simply go to there, choose my drive, load player, and then I'll pick a track. Wash. Load that in deck 4. So I've got my track loaded in deck 4, which I'll just click play. Just turn that down a little bit. And then how cool is that? I miss the air horn, I won't lie, I miss the air horn. Here's something else you should know. You can actually load tracks into your sample base. I did it by accident before I started recording this video. And the only issue that I had with it was you can't turn the sample off until it's finished. So I'll just show you. This is the track that we've got playing in number 4. If I swipe it, no, sorry. If I go back to this view here, if I swipe it right, it gives me the option to load to deck or sampler slot. So I could load it in deck here. And now if I press my view button, it's here in my 8th sampler pad. That whole track is a sample now. So if I press this button here, you'll see as a sample, it's now playing that whole track. And the problem with that is I can't work out how to turn it off. Oh, that's the actual track itself. So I can't turn that sample off. So just be careful there, because you could accidentally load a track as a sample. And as of yet, I had no idea how to stop that sample from playing. Even if I press the other samples, that sample there is still playing. So what I did to get out of it was just simply go back into my source, go to sample content, and let's pick another one, and I just load a different sample in there. So I'll stick that in there. And now if I just go back to my playlists, if I just play sample, that's quite quiet there, I'll just turn that up. But basically it's playing a drum kick. So that's how, if you do accidentally put a whole track into your sample bank, just basically go in and overwrite it with the sample that you want. So I guess if you want to load specific samples, you know, that you have yourself, you'll have to load them individually onto your hard drive and then just put them in. I guess, I don't know if, I haven't plugged my hard drive into Engine yet, So I don't know if I'll have sampler content listed, and then I can create a new folder with DJ80 samples, and then chuck in my samples into that folder. I suspect I probably can, but I haven't done that yet. But I just wanted to quickly put this video together to show you how to use it. If that's not possible for me to add a sample, create and add a sample folder, then all I'll do is I'll just add samples in one separate folder in my playlist, and drag them from there. So yeah, I'll create a folder that just says samples, and then I'll have little samples here and dump them into my sample bank. But I just wanted to show you how easy and simple it was to use. I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to have a play through these and have a listen to them. Without a doubt, my favourite is the air horn. It always has been. But there's quite a lot to choose there. I'll just stick that in there and let's see what that one's like. Yeah, well done, the guys at Engine and Denon. This is a great update. We've all been screaming out for sample pads, and this ticks all the boxes. Good luck, everyone, and I'll let you know if I have any more problems. I'll put them in the comment section. But go ahead, download it, and have some fun. Bye for now.